That arrest comes just days after a report on teen substance abuse showed that while teens are less likely to use alcohol and tobacco, they are significantly more likely to vape. Vaping involves inhaling vapors from an electronic cigarette that can contain nicotine or marijuana. Now, the Surgeon General's office is calling it an epidemic among teens in the U.S., and it could have health impacts for decades to come. KIMT News 3's Kaylin Thompson is learning more about why it's a problem that's hard for both law enforcement and parents to identify. She joins us now live in Rochester. Kaylin?
Amy, I'm live at the Law Enforcement Center tonight, and this arrest just goes to show that vaping is in our area. Now, one big concern with vaping is the nicotine. It can be addictive. But another substance that can be found in these devices is marijuana. I'm learning the hard part about that is being able to detect it.
It's more enticing for them to start using because of the flavors and the smells, and it doesn't look like cigarettes.
Gotcha. Yep. Holly Hansen has a son in middle school.
I did ask my son if kids at his school were doing it, and he said he didn't know, but I'm sure they probably are.
Rochester School Resource Officer Daniel Strensgaard knows they are.
They're getting it from somewhere.
He says he even sees it in schools.
A lot of it is nicotine. I mean, there's kids that are vaping nicotine, but there are also kids who are vaping THC oil.
But he says telling the difference isn't easy.
And it's difficult to determine just by looking at it or smelling it if it is marijuana oil or THC.
That's because, like nicotine, it comes in different flavors that can mask the smell. Something that can be a worry to parents who say they wouldn't even be able to tell what a vaping device is.
That's very concerning, especially if it doesn't smell, because that's usually the giveaway is the smell of the marijuana. So if they're putting it in those pens and it's marijuana and you don't know it, it could lead to a lot of bigger issues.
Issues with the law or even health.
So if you're taking a hit of THC oil, you might be taking way more than you're used to or way more than you think you're taking, so it can cause bad reactions.
Officer Strensgaard tells me having a vape device with that THC oil inside could lead to felony drug charges. Reporting live in Rochester, Kaylin Thompson, KIMT News 3.
Thank you, Kaylin. Parents are being urged to educate themselves on the issue and talk with their kids. Rochester Public Schools plans to host a community forum on January 15th, with vaping being one of the topics that will be discussed.